Hello everyone, welcome to Camera Frizz. This is Reza and this is our daily sports show. We talk about all kinds of sports here. So let's start with NBA Cup and we have Champions League today and we will talk about all the games that happened yesterday and the games to watch today. But NBA Cup Wizard won. Hallelujah, it's a miracle to see a Wizard win. Against Hawk, of course it's NBA Cup. If it was NBA regular season, they would lose. Um, Sixers lost to Magic. Lakers, Clippers are at the last minutes right now. Lakers is ahead. Um, Last night in Serie A, Brazil, Flamengo, and Palmeiras had their games. Flamengo made a draw, 1-1, and Palmeiras lost 3-2. So they were 4 points. Flamengo was 4 points ahead in Serie A, 3 games to go before this match, and now it's 5 points for Flamengo ahead and 2 games only to go. So Flamengo, there's a big chance they got it and they're good for the winning the Serie A. Brazil, the thing is that they lost so many points in the last like 10 weeks, a lot of points. Like if they didn't clutch at all, they were losing points left and right. But nonetheless, Flamengo are still on top. They have the game in the final of Copa Libertadores as well against each other. So that's also an intense match probably. Games to watch for today. Uh, Bayern against Arsenal, both pretty good, dominant in their league and on the top with difference. So very interesting. They did good also in Europe, both 12 points. I think the only teams with 12 points for they won all 4 games. I'm not sure about that. Let me check actually if they're the only teams with 12 points, but both have it. And yeah, the greatest match you could imagine. No, there is also Inter with 12 points. I had a doubt that there is one other team with 12 points. So you see, you can't write it any better. Best game to watch for tonight. Inter will go against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid not as sharp as they were in the last decade on average. So interesting still. Atletico Madrid is a fighter team. They fight better against the big teams this season. Liverpool against Eindhoven. Eindhoven on top had a great win last weekend while Feyenoord, their direct competitive competitor, lost 4-2. Embarrassing game for them because they were even ahead. And Eindhoven on the top of the Dutch league. Liverpool not on a good form, but they need a win because if they don't get a win today, they really feel the pressure or maybe doubts about the continuation of a slow. Paris will go again against Tottenham. Tottenham not doing good against big teams actually this season in average, especially about against London teams. Though they're normally good against them this season, not very much. Paris didn't start very good, had some bad games, but seemed to find their form in the last week. We should see Real Madrid against Olympiacos. Real also need a win to kind of put the pressure away, and Olympiacos is a good, good team to beat, if I want to be honest. So let's go to the biggest game of yesterday. Chelsea against Barca. Chelsea was completely on top, absolutely better. Defeated Barca, like destroyed them, smashed them 3-0. Also, three goals that weren't accepted because of handball or offside. Two of them scored by Enzo Fernandez. I don't remember the third one, but Garnacho was offside on the third one. So to completely smash them. At the start of the game, they were chanting Chelsea fans. It was in London, so Estevao is better than Yamal, and he was in that game. And yeah, even though I think Yamal is better in total and better talent, Estevao was better star last night, and Yamal was not much of a star. He made one good pass at the start of the game for Ferran Torres. It was 1v1 100% goal. He missed it, Ferran, and then that was all you could see from Yamal, and it's concerning because in big games against Paris, against Real Madrid, against Chelsea this season, that's what he was. One, two good passes that they should have scored, they didn't, and he was out. He was out the whole game. You know, you couldn't see them. You should have checked to see the lineup and if he's still in there. Not very good play from Yamal. So Chelsea had two goals at the start of the game. It started very good, very interesting, exciting. Two goals, one handball for the assist, and one offside on Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez scored both, but they were disallowed. And Neto was super fast and dynamic last night. Enzo pretty brilliant. And Kokorea was just fantastic, and he from a corner they had a plan on the ground. Kokorea sent the ball in. One of the funniest own goals I ever watched. Kunde scored it, and the thing was that Ferran Torres was trying to put the ball away, and Kunde was just kind of, it was a few times between them, the ball was going, and Kunde just put it in the goal. Very, very good, like a good striker, if he was, but it was the own goal. Kukuroya was, as I said, amazing. He also had a run that Araujo, the captain of Barca, made a tackle. It was very unnecessary. He was the captain. What he was thinking, I don't know. It was a good run, but it could be covered. He did a tackle. He already had a yellow card by complaining to the referee. Got a red, got two yellow and a red, and he was out from 44 minutes. Barca was playing with 10 men. The thing was that Chelsea was already better, but now they were smashing it, and Barca kind of lost hope to even create chances or continue. It was just all Chelsea after that. Garnacho, actually, I want to talk about Garnacho. Garnacho, I think he's not as good as the level of Neto, Enzo, Cucurella, Estevao. Like the players around him just are better, another level. I don't want to criticize him. He had a pass later on in the game that he was offside, and they scored, but it was offside. But he's not at their level, and it's very obvious that he's like a fraud. No, not fraud, but imposter amongst them, the other players. You could see the difference. Just saying. But everyone else in Chelsea was playing amazing. I don't want to criticize Garnacho much, but yeah, you could see, it was obvious. So Estevao scored a Messi kind of goal against Bayern Munich. Amazing dribble, going into the box, scored um, from the side, put it in the top of the goal. Brilliant goal, Brazilian, South American, Argentinian, Brazilian, South American goal. Beautiful, beautiful. And you can't believe he's 18. It was very interesting goal. Definitely watch it in the highlight. Neto almost also scored a bail goal, going super fast around defenders of Barca. Of course, not outside of the pitch, but inside. But it was, yeah, it was all Chelsea festival of goals that they could do. As I said, they scored 6. I mean, 3 of them were disallowed, but yeah. Dilap also scored his first goal for Chelsea, and it was a pass, I think, from Enzo Fernandez. Enzo was just brilliant. Dilap was alright, and he scored, and that's, I think, enough for him. He needs to get back on the form. Barca completely gave up, and yeah, that's it. They both led 3 and 3-0 was the result. Chelsea shows that he can defeat big teams very easily, and Barca showed that they are very flawed in the defense. Yeah. Let's go because the 10 minutes already passed and I have lots of game to cover. 2 pages, but very two impact. Bilbao against Prague, I don't have anything to say. Nil-nil. Let's move on. Uh, let's go to Juve against Bodo Glimt in Norway. Is it Norway? Yeah. In Norway, both had a few chances till 27 minutes. A corner and Bodo scored. Juve was behind. The first half finished as Juve was 1-0 down. Juve pressured a bit more, but not a big chance. Not that they could score it. And what else? What else? Oh, at 48 minutes. What did I write here? Oh, yes, US scored at 48 minutes in the second half. They started strong. Uh, Great counter-attack they had. Juve. One was that they went to a score. It was an offside, but also it was a foul. It seemed like a foul on the Bodo Glimt attacker, like next to their box. They did foul. It seemed like a foul. They had an amazing counter-attack, passing fantastically, scored, but it was also offside, so it was disallowed. It was the second half was insanely good game for Juve. They had lots of chances across header, goal, and then it was and they had the game was for Juve. 2-1 up and they were doing amazing, they were creating chances, then it was a penalty, just one of the rare moments for Bodo in the second half. The penalty, they scored it, they shoot in the middle. Last night I saw 3 penalties, 2 for Dortmund, 1 here, all in the 2 in the middle, 1 in the bar. Bad penalties last night. And beside that, it became 2-2, but also another insane counter-attack, and Juve scored another goal. They could also score 4, but they defended on the line. Moving on, yeah, just I want to say Juve needed the win. They got it, but they got it pretty hard. They still have problems that should be concerned, and Bodo is very, of course, resilient against big teams, but they did good, but they lost at home 3-2 nonetheless. Dortmund against Villarreal 4-0. Yeah, first half not much of a chance. It was quite boring for both teams, but at the end it was in Germany. Dortmund were creating chances. They scored a header, Grassi, at 46 in extra time at a time, and then the second half, yeah, the second half they got a penalty. He scored. He shot it in the middle, saved by the leg of the goalkeeper, and on the rebound he scored it, and Grassi, and 2 goals for them. But it was a handball. Like when the penalty was the result of a handball, hit the hand of a defender. He was saving it with his here, kind of hand and shouldery, and it was on the line, so he got the red card. So it was just Dortmund festival after that, creating chances. Villarreal created a few chances too, but Dortmund also was they were better against 10 men. So Adeyemi scored from a deficit, and also another goal was penalty as well. No, and it wasn't penalty. Sorry, another penalty also occurred. They hit the bar, and later on, Svensson scored the other goal, and 4-0 for them. Silva missed the penalty. They gave him a chance to score, but he missed it. Yeah, that's about it. Dortmund either playing super good or super disappointing. You can never tell. But for now, they somehow maybe they have more hope in Champions League because Bayern is not their direct competitor and they're not getting all the wins, so they do better. I think they are more motivated, so they do much better. Even like a few years ago against Real Madrid, they went to final uh, when they didn't do so well in the league against Bayern Munich. So it seems it's about motivation. Leverkusen defeated City 2-0. City started with players not from the first lineup, mostly from the second, but they changed their better players or first lineup players like Holland, Foden in the game, in the middle of the game. Grimaldo scored, Schick scored, so they had two shots on target, Leverkusen, and they used both. City was, of course, better in the stats, created chances. Holland created a few chances after he came in, but good saves from the goalkeeper, brilliant, and they missed a few. City lost, another loss for City. Sorry, not very good results. Why am I doing this? Not very good for results for City, but it seems they didn't care that much because they came in with their second lineup. But still, yeah, not the greatest form I expected from City. I was quite wrong about them. They can still be pretty good and do pretty good, but yeah, not getting all the results. Napoli against Karabakh, 2-0. Holland got a penalty, missed it at 50 minutes, I think. They had some good chances, Napoli. It was Napoli's game against Karabakh, but Karabakh was defending good. They could have a crazy game like a bicycle. They saved Karabakh again. McTominay scored a goal from corner. It was very bad goalkeeping. Like the ball came in, McTominay shot it, and the goalkeeper just put it again in front of him in the middle, and he scored. And another goal was also by McTominay. He shot it in the crowded place, and it was deflected. It counted as an own goal, but it was again McTominay, the person who opened up the game. So one goal for McTominay, two his influence, and Napoli had a win. They're getting better form again without Kevin De Bruyne. They're getting used to it, and Karabakh had a loss finally. They did pretty good this Champions League. It's not their first loss, I think, but it's the second loss. But they were always pretty close. I have to check. I'm not pretty sure. It was their first or the second loss they had this Champions League. It was one win, one draw, one loss, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm checking. Marseille against Newcastle. It was in Marseille, Karabakh, Karabakh. Yeah, it was their second loss, but the losses they did still pretty good in every game. Marseille against Newcastle. Mark, it was amazing vibes at the start. Marseille Stadium, I love it. One of my favorites, brilliant. In total, it was somehow similar stats. Not, I mean, one of them wasn't too much bigger. Barnes scored at the start of the game, pretty good. There were a few line defenses in the attacks. Newcastle started pretty well, but Marseille got the game, but no chances in the first half. In the second half, Aubameyang scored two goals at the till 50 minutes. He scored his two goals, and they managed the game, and it finished. The thing is that in the first goal, Pope, the Newcastle goalkeeper, had a very unnecessary exit coming to the corner of the box while the defender were somehow there, and Aubameyang, of course, passed him and scored. It was a tough angle to score, but he did. It's his own Aubameyang, and the second was, of course, brilliant tackle tapping for Aubameyang, and yeah, then they controlled the game. They had also offside goal, Newcastle. Yeah, I wrote it here. I don't remember it, but I wrote it. And they had some good chances as well. Newcastle to make it maybe draw, but Newcastle, Barnes is doing fantastic for Newcastle. He scored 4 or 5 goals in Champions League. I don't know, but a lot. Um, and he's doing fantastic. Newcastle is doing good, better than before, but Marseille, I think it was because they were at home. They got Marseille is also pretty good form. So interesting game. I watched this fully and I enjoyed it with Barca and Chelsea. And the other game that I watched was Benfica against Ajax. Uh, Benfica doesn't seem to have a chance. They have one game, I think, against Real Madrid, one game again against Napoli, and another game also a tough game. 3 games to go and three tough opponents. So I don't think they have much chance. But they won last night nonetheless, 2-0 against Ajax. Ajax in that very bad form, bad in attack, bad in defense. It was in Amsterdam. They lost against home. They had so many bad games at home actually. At the bottom, no points. I think for Ajax, it's awful season they have. Um, Benfica scored very early and very late at the game. Kind of Mourinho game, you expect. Score very early, keep the game, score late if you get the chance. On a very beautiful goal. It was like passing and countering, and the second goal. And yeah, very Mourinho, yeah. And barely they had a chance. Ajax, they didn't, lots of corners, no good. They didn't create. The chance they created was one very narrow angle. They didn't create much. Let's move on to the last game, Gala against USG, sorry, from Belgium. They are the champion of the last year. I think this year they are on the top still. In Belgium, I didn't check a few weeks, but I think so. There were no Osimhen, so Icardi was in the forward. No goal, of course, for Gala. It seems they need Osimhen to score. And USG got 1-0. Yeah, what can I say? Next game, Gala. It was a bad loss for Gala in the last 3 games. They had before this, they had one loss and draw also. So not their best form. They started the season insanely good. Their next game is against Fenerbahce. They're still on top, and Fenerbahce behind them. So amazing game in Istanbul, and it would be insanely tough atmospheric game like always. They both hit the woodwork last night, and 50 something minutes they scored and kept the game. And they had one good chance as USG to make it 2-0, but it didn't happen. That's pretty much it for today. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and write a comment. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.